What's the stupidest criminal you've ever had to deal with personally? My former roommate stole my identity and bragged about ruining my life forever. Then the FBI showed up at his door. I kicked Brian out for missing rent for several months straight, and while I thought he was just crashing at his brother's place and moving on with his life, he was actually sitting in his mom's basement with my old mail, methodically applying for credit cards in my name. He'd lifted my social security number from tax documents I'd left in the filing cabinet and photographed my driver's license while I was sleeping off a double shift at the hospital. The first card came with a $10,000 limit, and Brian celebrated by buying himself a new gaming setup and telling his online friends how his pathetic ex-roommate was about to learn what happens when you mess with the wrong person. Within 6 weeks, he'd opened 12 different accounts and maxed out every single one on electronics, concert tickets, and even a Rolex he immediately sold for cash. By month 3, he was getting cocky and sloppy because nothing had happened yet, and he figured I was too stupid to even notice. I found out when I tried to pay for groceries, and my debit card got declined for insufficient funds. The bank manager pulled me aside and asked if I'd recently purchased $47,000 worth of merchandise from various online retailers because my credit report looked like someone had taken a sledgehammer to it. My score had dropped from 780 to 420 overnight, and there were collection notices being sent to addresses I'd never heard of in 3 different states. Brian had even taken out 2 personal loans totaling $30,000 and used the money to put deposits on luxury apartments he never intended to rent, leaving me responsible for paying back money I never saw. "You destroyed my life," he texted me from a burner phone after I discovered everything. "Now I'm destroying yours piece by piece, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it because you can't prove shit." I stood in the bank manager's office in shock, surrounded by printouts of fraudulent charges. He'd been telling everyone at his new job that I was trying to frame him because I was jealous of his success, and his mom was already backing up his alibi. My boss called me into her office 2 weeks later with our entire legal team waiting inside. Someone had ordered $15,000 of medical equipment using my name and had it shipped directly to our hospital's loading dock, which triggered an immediate federal investigation since stolen medical supplies could be resold on the black market or used to make illegal substances. The head of security walked me into a conference room where 2 FBI agents were sitting with laptops and recording equipment already running. "We need to discuss why someone using your identity would ship stolen goods to your workplace," the older agent said, while sliding a stack of transaction records across the table that was 2 inches thick. I started explaining about Brian and the identity theft, but I could tell they thought I might be involved somehow. The younger agent suddenly stopped scrolling through her tablet. "These purchases were all made from the same 2 devices," she announced to the room. "An iPhone 12 Pro and a Dell laptop, both registered to a Brian who was logged into his Facebook and Instagram while making every single purchase." The room went completely silent while she kept scrolling through records that showed exactly when and where his devices were used. He used his personal Gmail as the backup contact on 3 of these accounts and verified his identity with selfies on the loan applications where he's holding your license next to his face. She turned her tablet around to show Brian grinning like a lunatic in a bar bathroom mirror, clearly drunk, holding my driver's license next to his face with a timestamp showing 2:47 a.m. The older agent started pulling up more evidence on his laptop, showing IP addresses that traced back to Brian's mom's house, his workplace, and even a sports bar where he'd applied for 3 cards during happy hour. Brian had used his Face ID to quick login to half the applications. His location services were on for every single transaction, and he'd even given his real phone number as the backup contact for password resets because he thought he was untouchable. They arrested Brian at 6 in the morning while he was live streaming a game to 12 viewers.